Well, hey all, and welcome back. Today has finally warmed up enough where I actually want to kind of go out in the garage again. It's been pretty miserable winter, as you've seen on the news and other parts of the country, you know firsthand. But hopefully for a lot of us, it's finally kind of tailing off as we're nudging closer to spring. Now, I myself have had a handful of projects I want to do with the car before springtime has come. And it got me thinking about a process I came up with a couple years ago when I was super busy with school and work and taking care of the kids and the car and everything else. How can I knock stuff out, especially, little projects? Because statistically, most project cars live in the garage on jack stands for the rest of their lives, and people usually don't get to enjoy them as much as they should. I've always strived to kind of adjust my project to never be in that situation, at least as much as I can help it. And that included reducing some of my ambitions and whatnot of what I want to do with the car. But anyway, what I'd come up with was a system where I go out 20 minutes a day. And that doesn't seem like a lot, and that's something, because it's not a lot, is easier to sort of go outside and actually do these things. So what I do first is I think about a project. Like currently, the projects I have, I've got my new tires in to go on my new wheels, so I can finally fit those before autocross season starts. I've got my trunk where I'm actually wanting to fix the color because it's still red, redo my battery setup so it's a little bit cleaner and I can actually put stuff in the trunk for if I want to go on little trips. And then other things like checking timing, your typical maintenance sort of thing. And so what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to focus on this one particular project. And the first one I'm going to do, for example, is get the wheels and tires ready. And what I want to do is make it easier long term. So the first thing I'm going to do, even though they're brand new wheels, they still have residue and oils on it from the manufacturing process. So I'm going to clean the wheel. That might not be every wheel at once. It might just be one wheel at a time or two wheels at a time. And that's going to take a few days to do. That is an easy project that I can say, okay, I can take that 20 minutes, go out there, do it, and then knock it off the list. The next thing would be, once the wheels are dry, put a ceramic coat on it, or some sort of polymer coat or something along those lines to protect them. Then after that, of course, take them to go get the tires put on the wheels. But it doesn't end there. It's never that easy putting wheels on. I'm going to have to actually change my lugs on the back, or the studs on the back, so that my wheel will clear it with the spacer because they actually protrude from the spacer a little bit. But I'm going to do a whole video on that most likely. But the point is, taking these projects, looking at what the goal is, and sort of listing out, okay, how can I break this up into smaller chunks to where I can go out there for 20 minutes, or if you feel like you have the time and the energy, longer. And if you can actually sit down and do a whole project in one sitting, that's awesome. That's good on you. But not everyone has that kind of time or motivation, especially when the weather sucks like this. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. I thought it might be a good way to help get you guys motivated to do those little projects that are sort of bothering you that you need to get done before driving season starts. If you're like me and you live in places where we get winter and we kind of don't use our cars in those time periods. This isn't for everyone. I mean, some people, this is their only car and they can't do projects in 20-minute chunks like this. But if you have a project car and it's actually able to stay in the garage, you can easily go in there and knock out a couple odds and ends and then eventually check off that project for being done. But anyway, hopefully you all can be motivated to get your project ready for the driving season that's coming up. And like always, like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.